Hello, my name is Thomas Ian James, and unfortunately today we have a bit of sadness on Doctor Who. On the 2nd of September 2019, we just lost Terrance Dicks. Losing Terrance Dicks is like losing a family member. For a while, Terrance Dicks was one of the oldest and one of the only keepers of the early era of Doctor Who. After losing Barry Letts in 2009, it had seemed like that partnership had been halved. And now, 10 years later, it's finally been put through. Rest in peace, Terrance Dicks. You were always Uncle Terry.
Hi guys, this is Nick providing a reaction to the latest news about Terrance Dicks' death. It's very saddening and quite shocking. It's quite sad and quite shocking to know someone who's been involved with the show so much, especially during a very changeable period, the 1970s, the early 70s with the John Pertwee era, very changeable era, and also very late Patrick Troughton as well. And also during all the Target novels, or well, quite a lot of the Target novelizations, and also the some other books later down the line, being a great script editor for the most parts in the 70s. And he did some great stories as well. 5 Doctors, which I have reviewed, and it'll be coming out later in the week, and I will re-edit that quickly to include a dedication to him. That story is one of my favourite stories of the entire show, and he's certainly knew how to write a great 20th anniversary story, and he's also written quite a few great stories. State of Decay was a great story, Horror Fang Rock was a great story, Robot was a very good start for Tom Baker's Doctor, and he also co-wrote the War Games, which was a very good end for Patrick Troughton's Doctor, and was a great script editor for John Pertwee. And it's quite shocking, especially now as the dream team of the John Pertwee years, or at least from Doctor Who and the Silurians to Planet of the Spiders, with Barry Letts as producer and Terrance Dicks as the script editor. He also wrote Brain and Morbius that Robert Homestead changed a bit, and then they put Robin Bland's name on. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure.
Later renamed as Robin Bland after a joke that Terrance had phoned with Robert Holmes, saying that he should use a Bland pseudonym, so Robin Bland was used.
And yeah, it's sad to know that both members of the Dream Team, him and Barry Letts, Dream Team of the John Pertwee era, they're gone, and it's quite shocking. And I think Dicks was a very good writer as well, and also contributed very much to the novels, especially Target range, and also to newer books such as the even a few new series novels as well. Revenge of the Jadoon, that was a good one. So he did a good job there, and yes, and it's such a great guy and such a well-known figure, and well, in the Doctor Who fan community. And it's quite shocking to hear of his death. He's one of the greats. And so, Terrance Dicks, if you're listening, it's you. You did fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Hi, Matt here. Just wanted to say my thoughts on Terrance's passing. Of course, he did live a long life, and I hope a happy one. And his work on Doctor Who has actually really impacted my life. because, well, Doctor Who has impacted my life, and to be honest, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be the fan I am today, and Doctor Who may not even have surpassed 6 seasons. I mean, sure, you've got people like Derek Sherwin and Barry Letts that you could credit it to, but Terrance Dicks was still instrumental in that. Because if it wasn't for the Pertwee era, which he was one of the people spearheading because he was script editor, the show would not have made it past its 7th season. And not only did he help prolong the show, but he also helped preserve it. Because of, all those novelizations, if it wasn't for him, most of those just wouldn't exist. And because he did the novelizations for most, well, I don't know most, but like a third, I think, of all televised Doctor Who. All classic Doctor Who, that is. So he's written some of my favourite stories, and he's also written plenty of great stories off screen as well. Like, one of the stories that really changed me and made me one of the fans I am today is the Five Doctors, and he was the one who wrote that, and the Five Doctors was one of my first classic Doctor Who stories I ever watched. Bit weird that I would start with the Five Doctors. I think I actually started with the Two Doctors, actually, but the Five Doctors really had an impact on me. That was the first classic Doctor Who story I really watched. Yeah, not to mention the fact that he wrote the War Games as well, which is one of, if not my favourite, regeneration stories. This is complete coincidence. I'm listening to first Sarah Jane Smith audio on CD because I have it on CD, so I'm listening to that for the first time, and that was written by Terrance Dicks. So yeah, that was weird. Like reading today that he's gone. It honestly feels like one of the absolute titans of Doctor Who has just fallen. Like, I'm sure this was probably the case when like Verity Lambert and Terry Nation and like I guess JNT would have all passed. But like I feel like this is pretty much as monumental as if like someone like RTD would pass. So from the bottom of my heart, and from all of us in the Doctor Who fandom, we will miss you, Terrance, and thank you.
Well, I wish I was coming to you in better circumstances, but as we know, script editor and writer Terrance Dicks is sadly no longer with us. Seeing and reading all of the posts on Twitter yesterday hit me, and I'm gutted to see such a legend go. The amount this man has contributed to the show over the years is honestly incredible. I'm sure Thomas, Matt or Nick has probably already went into his work, so I won't dwell on it too much, but here are just some of my personal favourite stories to come from Dicks. Obviously the War Games is up there. It's possibly even one of my favourites of all time, and this was actually one of the first scripts worked on by Dicks, which was also co-written with Hulk. A few others included The Brain of Morbius and The Horror of Fang Rock, which, in my opinion, are some of the strongest stories to come from Tom's era. And of course, how could I forget his last script, which was The Five Doctors. A great celebration of the show, and again, another absolute classic. I know that he's also written a lot of the Target novelisations, but I'm yet to properly delve into them. But yeah, Terrance Dicks was very much loved within the community, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think Doctor Who would still be going today. A truly great writer, and one that will be sorely missed.